Alright, guys. So AEW, let's talk about AEW. The ratings are low. We're going to talk about the ratings for a little bit, and then we're going to talk about the stupidity storyline that they're doing. I also have another thing I was going to add into this video, but I don't want to make this video longer than what it is. So if you want me to talk more about AEW, what they should do in a brand split, and I have 4 in their titles, comment below, let me know, and I'll do that in the next video. I was going to do it in this video, but it's going to take too long, and I don't want to do it in this video. So we'll do that in the next video. So comment below, let me know. We're just going to keep it basic with the ratings. If y'all clearly see on the title, and you clearly see in this video, last week they got 633,000. This week they got 637,000. Last week NXT got 637,000. This week they have 700,000. You're probably saying, well, that's good. Yes. So here's the thing. NXT rebranded and rebooted, and their ratings have went up or stayed consistent. AEW, on the other hand, has rebranded multiple times in the last 3 to 4 years, and they have steady declined. The reason that AEW ratings are low is the fact that and their attendance are low. And don't mistake this. I'm not coming for AEW, but this is a lesson it's not a lesson, but it's just something I want to speak on. AEW is currently at a position right now they're not doing well. The ratings are all-time low. They look like they're about to get lower. Once they go to max, their ratings going to even hit to 2,000, maybe 100,000s. We're at the point right now where AEW needs to understand. Now, I just finished watching JD from New York, and he did a state of AEW, and he had Andrew on there talk about how Andrew also said ratings don't matter. They do matter. They matter because it sees a diminishing returns. It doesn't matter on a level of this video does good or this video does this or this video if your YouTube numbers are higher than your rating number. That's not the case with AEW. AEW barely cracks 1 million views now. They barely cracked 500,000. 3 years ago, it wasn't like that. Their views were really hot. Majority of weeks, their videos were hitting millions of views. Mercedes Moné debuted this year. She didn't even hit 1 million views. The last video that hit 1 million views was the one they did with Adam Copeland a year ago. They barely scratch 1 million views now. So you can see the diminished return. So the rating is a reflection of that also in their YouTube numbers and their engagement numbers on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. So for him to say the ratings don't matter, they do matter because it shows the interest in the company. And the attendance shows us as well, too. AEW got to do better. And Tony Khan needs to take a step back and realize, I can't do all this by myself. I need help. Like I said, let me know in the comments if you want me to talk about a brand split with AEW and et cetera, et cetera. I think he needs to just focus on one thing. Having all these shows and he's doing all of them is a problem. Say what you want about CM Punk. He drew viewers. And the problem with Punk, and I want people to understand this, when Punk left, that hurt AEW. And for Tony Khan not to come out and say anything about it, it hurt him. The problem with Punk, and I agree, was Punk's a prima donna, but that's your fault by giving him all that power. Same with you gave the EVPs. But the issue lies with Tony Khan for not handling that better as a boss. I would have got Punk in the room. I would have got the Young Bucks in the room. Let's make some money. Let's put the shit behind us. Even Punk said, hey, let's be professionals. Like, hey, we fought. Let's move past it. And that's fine. But the Young Bucks didn't want to play ball. Again, that's them. Punk doesn't need them. They need him. But again, the Bucks wasn't thinking about the company. They were thinking about themselves. They acted like Punk is taking money out of their pockets. In reality, Punk was giving them more money in their fucking pockets. And that's the weird thing. And Tony Khan didn't see that. People are like, oh yeah, well AEW got 500 or a million, in TV rights and stuff like that. They probably would have got more if they had CM Punk. They probably would have got more if they had Cody Rhodes. But again, Tony Khan, he's lucky that the NBA is no longer with Warner Brothers. Because if the NBA was still with Warner Brothers, they would have been gone. Because Warner Brothers, they're in debt. So I feel that Tony Khan needs to be praying to any god he knows or any god he worships, because if they had the NBA, they would not be getting the money they're getting right now. That's why you have to be very careful with that. Vince even said it too. He said we have to make sure. That's why Vince had all these rights, because he knew he could never rely on these networks, because these networks could switch just like that. And he saw this landscape change in the TV landscape. Vince was always ahead of the curve with that stuff. The network was ahead of his time. And look where they at now. Making money out the ass. But anywho, that's a little tidbit. AEW needs to focus on telling compelling stories, having compelling characters. They have the wrestlers. I think the wrestlers need to work on their characters, but they have the wrestlers. They have the talent. I think they have probably the best women's division if they focus on the character and the story aspect, balls to the walls. In the men's, same thing. Like Jon Moxley's character, if they wouldn't went full neo-Nazi, he would have had probably the best character in wrestling, because you're actually taking a character from real life and you're expanding upon it. You can still make it a little cartoonish, but not too much, but more realistic, that you can tell a compelling story. WWE can't do that. They got too many sponsors. With AEW, they can, but you can still reel it in. You say, we don't like your type of people. It's like, what do you mean, my people? And you can play the line with that. And Swerve would have been the perfect person to do that, and he was world champion. They decided not to do that. Here we are. Then you have the Heyman picture in there. You could throw him in there. I would have Heyman to be a tweener. And after Swerve is done with Heyman, or Jon Moxley take out Swerve, Heyman was like, whoa, he was mine. And then Jon Moxley's like, you snooze, you lose. And I would have these two feuded out. Swerve comes back, helps them out. And then now you have not ended the feud with Swerve, but they can still say, Heyman said, I still have an issue with you, and so do I. And they have a match. And then you have the BCC, whatever the fuck they want to be called, the Neo of the Moxley clan. And they come down there, of the Moxley Club. I'm about to say clan. Moxley Club. And they beat them down. And then the whole roster come and support them. That's what you do. But you have strong characters for this invasion storyline. Not Jobber Squad number 1, Jobber Squad number 2, Orange Cassidy, who is a joke character. But you could still have these matches. I would have Cassidy join Swerve and Heyman. I want to have him be featured as the world champ, and my Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin. But that's how you do things. That's how you create stars. That's how you create moments with your stronger characters. I'm not a big fan of Orange Cassidy, but he's a strong character in AEW's lore history. Darby Allin's the same way. Their history. The Dark Order, I'm sorry, they have not been. They've been joke characters because Tony Khan has booked them as that. Orange has been booked strongly. Do I like him being booked strongly? Absolutely not. But it fits to the story of what they're trying to do. That's just my opinion on the matter. Like I said, AEW has a problem. They need to fix it. Like I said, if you guys want me to talk more about what they should do with the roster, because how bloated it is, comment below, let me know. But to end this video and to wrap it up, because I don't want to go long, AEW needs to look at their roster and their originals, and they need to focus on them. You got all these WWE guys come in. Cool. Have them come in. Use them right. Have them either feud, elevate them. I hate to say it, but when TNA used to get WWE guys. They always had WWE versus TNA. That's how Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe was built as. That's how Christian Cage came. Well, Christian Cage came in more like a helper against the heel faction of Jarrett, but eventually the way Joe versus Kurt came in, that was a WWE versus TNA thing, and it worked out pretty well. They made a lot of money. So, as always, guys, like, subscribe, peace. I'm out.